Hello and a very good afternoon to all of those who are watching me live on the Facebook page of News9. I'm Neha. The Sushant Singh Rajput case seems to be getting murkier with each passing day. Every single day, as you all know, there are fresh details that emerge in the case. In the latest June 9 WhatsApp chats between Sushant and his friend have emerged. The actor was discussing a deal. The message by Sushant sent through Deepesh raised several questions over the suicide theory surrounding the actor. Well, if you have to talk about his girlfriend, Rhea Chakraborty, and the interview which she gave, it appears that it has only added fuel to the already raging fire. Rhea Chakraborty made some shocking revelations pertaining to Sushant Singh Rajput, claiming that the actor used to do drugs and there were many WhatsApp chats also revealing the same. But many, including Sushant Singh Rajput's father, have claimed this is a conspiracy against the late actor and blamed Rhea of poisoning Sushant, quote unquote. Bollywood actor Shekhar Suman also hit out at Rhea Chakraborty for defaming late actor Sushant Singh Rajput's family members. The actor said Rhea should not have spoken about SSR's alleged consumption of illegal drugs. Well, so much so, remember, after over a month and a lot of delay, the case was finally handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation, and the agency is currently probing the death case, which was first touted to be a suicide. Because of the drug angle in Sushant Singh Rajput's death case, the Central Bureau of Investigation has teamed with the Narcotics Control Bureau to further probe the case. Do remember that today is the fourth day of the intense grilling of Rhea by the CBI. Actor Rhea Chakraborty and her brother Shovik Chakraborty arrived at DRDO guest house in Santa Cruz earlier today, and they are being questioned by the CBI. Rhea, in the past, while accepting publicly for the first time that Sushant was her boyfriend, demanded CBI probe into the case while urging the Home Minister of the country. Several relatives and close friends of Sushant Singh Rajput have also been questioned by the CBI, which also includes Samuel Miranda, who was Sushant's house manager. He in fact revealed to the CBI that Sushant was not keeping well and he would often sit in his room alone. Sushant Singh's sister Meetu Singh was also questioned by the CBI in this case. Also, all the conspiracy theories have been rubbished by the family members of Sushant, who are claiming that SSR was murdered, ruling out the suicide angle altogether. Rhea, in her interview, was also asked as to why did she say sorry Babu after seeing Sushant's body, to which the actor replied by saying what else was she supposed to say to someone who lost their life. This is also something which gained importance after SSR's death, with many calling Rhea murderer of Sushant Singh Rajput. Let's quickly go across to my colleague Adarsh Vepachedu, who joins us live from the newsroom with more inputs on it. Well, Adarsh, what are the latest developments in Sushant Singh Rajput's case? The latest chat that has emerged has raised several questions over the suicide theory surrounding the actor.
Well, yes indeed, Neha. There is so much going on pertaining to the Sushant Singh Rajput case, and we've been getting so many chats in the last month or so, and it is these very chats that have given, or let's just say thrown light on what may have really happened to Sushant Singh Rajput. Now, several discrepancies have been busted, if I were to say, through these very WhatsApp chats, and you were mentioning about a couple of them in your introductory remarks as well. But yes, after a few chats that had emerged in the past, the latest chat that has emerged today has again thrown more light on what could have happened to Sushant Singh Rajput, and whether he was really fighting depression, whether he was not in a proper state of mind, what exactly was going on with him. We can really try and understand based on this one particular chat that has surfaced today. This particular chat that we're going to speak about is between Sushant Singh Rajput and his close friend identified as Kushal Zaveri. Now, it is being said that Kushal Zaveri came in touch with Sushant Singh Rajput pertaining to the possible work collaboration with a certain e-commerce company. So there was a sort of business deal, if we were to call it, between Sushant Singh Rajput and Kushal Zaveri that was in the works, at least as per the chat that has now surfaced. It was on the 9th of of June. Now remember, the date and the timing is very important here. It was on the 9th of June when Sushant and Kushal exchanged this particular chat relating to the collaboration for an e-commerce company, and it is during this chat that Sushant had reportedly told Kushal that one of his employees, one of his staffers identified as Deepesh Sawant, would eventually be getting in touch with him. Now, Deepesh Sawant's WhatsApp message reveals that he texted Kushal on the morning of 14th June. So 9th June is when Sushant Singh Rajput and Kushal come in touch. Sushant says, all right, I'll patch you through with one of my staffers. And it was on the 14th of June, 5 days later, when Deepesh Sawant seems to have messaged Kushal that all right, the deal is on, and he essentially about gaining more details. Now, why is 14th June important? It is on this day that Sushant passed away. But that's not what is a little should I call it murky? What's murky is the fact that the timing of this particular message that we're talking about, that was shot from Deepesh Sawant to Kushal Zaveri, was at 10:51 a.m. on the 14th of June. So Deepesh sent a message eventually to Kushal which read, "Hi sir, SSR asked me to get in touch with you regarding a certain company name which we cannot disclose at this point in time." So that was the message that Deepesh had sent to Kushal on the morning of 14 June at 10:51 a.m. Now, this very timing of message raises a few concerns, as multiple reports have spoken about how it is during this time period when 4 members who were inside Sushant Singh Rajput's residence were trying to bang open the door, were trying to really understand as to what is happening behind the closed door of Sushant Singh Rajput's room. So, which is when eventually, if we were to get to the bottom of the chat, Kushal replied to Deepesh's message only much later at around 2:30 p.m. Asking if Bhai, quote-unquote Bhai, that is Sushant Singh Rajput, was safe or not. Now, Kushal had earlier also claimed that on this particular day when Sushant Singh Rajput was found dead, he was sleeping on that day and woke up pretty late. So yes, a few details that have come out in this particular chat. The big question is, if a person was really depressed and not in the best of his shape, would he be at the
would he be indulging
brink?
in such deals
Yes.
at that point of
would
time?
Would he be at the brink of a business
Absolutely.
deal? Is
So
the big question that we need to ask.
Adarsh, you know, it's been over 2 months since Sushant Singh Rajput's death. Allegations and counter-allegations is what we've been hearing all along. Do we see the case reaching to any conclusion?
Well, Neha, that's again a very pertinent, pointed question, and the entire country is waiting with bated breath to really understand as to what happened to Sushant Singh Rajput. And after much outcry, after a Supreme Court hearing, the case has finally been given to the Central Bureau of Investigation. And when it comes to high-profile cases like these, they do not get solved overnight. So it is going to take a lot of time, and the CBI will be ensuring that they'll be scrutinizing every little detail. All of these chats that we've been constantly speaking about will be looked into quite deeply. The kind of financial transactions that have happened from Sushant Singh's end, and the number of people that may have been connected to Sushant Singh Rajput when it comes to the financial dealings itself. So there is a lot more than what meets the eye, and we're really at the tip of the iceberg. And we can also say that a few chats that are surfacing time and again are throwing more light. But yes, we will have to wait for the Central Bureau of Investigation to really finish their investigation and come out with the truth as to what has happened to Sushant Singh Rajput. But up until then, we will have a lot of views coming in. We have a lot of these WhatsApp chats also coming around, and based on these WhatsApp chats, many people will make all kinds of allegations and counter allegations. So that is something that is part and parcel of such high profile cases and will continue to go on. But we must really keep ourselves away from all of this, and all we should really do ideally is wait for the investigation report to come out from the CBI's end. Back to you.
Thank you so very much, Adarsh, for joining me live. Well, here you have it. We can only hope that the truth emerges at the earliest. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that this information was helpful. If at all you like this video, do not forget to subscribe News9 YouTube, like us on News9 Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook. Stay safe. Thank you for joining me.